What's up, everyone? I'm Levita Josue.
And I'm Antonio Ache, and this is Comro, where we do nerdy reviews with the occasional boost. Like everyone who is in the know knows, today is the day. We have just watched the latest episodes, the first two episodes of WandaVision, which just hit. Yes, it hit Disney Plus today, and it's giving us the next step in the MCU journey. And I couldn't be more excited about it.
So in this episode today, we're talking about specifically episode 1. So if you haven't seen the show yet, of course, it just dropped today as of this recording. This is your spoiler warning. Go ahead and check that out. If you want to chat about it, come on back after you watch it so we can talk about it down in the comment section.
Big facts, big facts. For those of you who stuck around or got up dumb early and watched it then, here we are, we finally get to see what all they meant when they were talking about it's going to be the MCU's first comedy and it's going to be this and that and the other. They really leaned all the way in on this one, and I appreciate it. I don't know about you, but I used to watch I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched and all of those, and not like when they were coming out that old, but TV Land, it's a thing, and I enjoyed them, and they went full on with that whole aesthetic, and it was wonderful. They even went as far as to use some of the old school techniques for making stuff float and things like that in order to really put you in that time frame.
Yeah, and I think the sitcom laughter was I was like, I knew it was gonna be like in black and white, but when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, it gave it that little lift, just to kind of put you back in the mindset of watching those shows from back in the day. So I thought that was pretty neat. But let's go ahead and get on with the review. So, WandaVision episode 1. What are your thoughts, Tony?
Well, of course I enjoyed it. One of the things that I thought was there were a lot of little things in it that I felt kind of hinted at bigger things. And I know they did more stuff than I noticed, but this little pen was going as quickly as it could. One of the main things that caught my eye initially, they played it off as a completely different joke, like, oh, my wife and her flying saucers and stuff like that, even though her powers are completely terrestrially. Well, okay, so in this universe, they are awakened via the Mind Stone, which was not of Earth exactly, but we all know, especially from the comics, her powers are naturally in her. So she's not like an alien by any means, but that's how they played the joke. Whereas the other thing that the joke played right after was the plate breaking and then her fixing the plate and putting it back up there. I thought that was a huge deal because she kind of loses her, she definitely loses her mind in the comics. And when she does, she has to reform her own psyche in order to make sure that she doesn't, continue to screw up her timeline and everything. And I think that was just a tiny little glimpse of what we were going to see, a break, and her and possibly Doctor Strange having to put that joint back together in Multiverse of Madness.
All right, so I do have a question about the show since I'm not exactly knowledgeable on WandaVision. So this little world that they're in, is this a world like I know you said the Mind Stone, but it's just it almost feels like I read a comment the other day on TikTok that said it's kind of like the like that movie The Truman Show, where everything is a setup, and I was kind of getting that vibe because it kind of feels fake. But I don't know if that's the case or not.
Okay, so gonna be honest with you here, and hopefully they don't tear us apart in the comments. I haven't seen The Truman Show, or another show that I reference in my notes, Pleasantville. Haven't seen either one, but what I do know is for The Truman Show, he was in this construct that was all built around him, and it obviously wasn't what he wanted, and I don't know how it ends, but. That's that. I think that I personally feel like that's what this is. It is very Truman Show. It is very put together and phony, because it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like they start off with the simple because that's what they need. So they went as far back as the 50s to kind of give you that that like simple like plane, which is working on fitting in, da da da. And then once we've got her used to that idea, then we can build onto harder things. Which in the second episode they actually start building onto that. And that's one of those things that personally I feel like it's either Dormammu or Mephisto that are behind this, because they are both really big on screwing people's minds. I'm leaning into Mephisto though, because of one of the main things in the second episode.
A couple notes of the first episode that I just wanted to kind of like point out. If women really had the powers that Wanda has in the 50s, it would have made being a housewife so much easier. When she was cooking for the boss and taking all the plates and stuff out of the cabinets, and then I'm sure you caught the little the Stark Industries commercial. Opening line was, "Is your husband tired of you burning his toast?"
yeah. That's that was definitely one of those things that like I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched played into a lot. Like, you know, oh, they had to be the perfect housewife and da da da, but they were from elsewhere and they had weird things that they couldn't explain and all that, and all these like close calls and stuff. But yeah, it was very, very silly, but I appreciate it. I didn't expect them to do the commercials. And I love whenever shows like this do that, and they like really put you in that world. Like was it Atlanta when they did the commercials, and all those commercials had underlying messages to them. Love that. That just shows that the writing crew went that much further in their preparation for this. It's wonderful.
I think it was a really cool way of getting, you know, a glimpse into their new life. You know, just very 50s suburban era. I think I've mentioned before that I'm not a big fan of like 70s kind of stuff.
Pieces.
No, it's not period pieces. It's specifically like, I don't know.
It's specifically
like
70s, but they don't touch 70s until obviously episode like the end until like episode 3 probably. So calm down.
No, yeah, well, like I said, it's not like specific, you know, like stories or anything in the 70s. It's like the whole aesthetic, but 50s is something that I have always been a fan of. So I really dig this style here. The boss, I thought the boss was very I thought he was like the perfect boss, like for that kind of job, for like his little character. Like it's like when, you know, when they're guests in someone's house, they were just kind of like, it's like it was like their house.
Yes, because they were the boss.
Yeah.
When in all actuality, anything that happens when we're off the clock has nothing to do with our job, but that was how they did back in the day, and it was crazy. I wish I would have somebody come over to my house and be on pins and needles. Please.
I'm saying, you know, like,
you better enjoy whatever my wife made.
It's like someone comes into your house and you can't disrespect them or kick them out. What are you gonna do? Huh? I'll fire you.
There are a couple things. One, they made a joke about how dense Vision was. I thought that was a funny little thing because he has those density shifting powers. The other thing that I thought was interesting was the fact that she had Agnes bring a bunch of food and stuff over, which kind of showed that she, up until this point, wasn't able to, or up until like the end of the episode where she makes the rings for them, she didn't create anything. She was just like moving things and shifting stuff and changing things. So like she had all, like her powers were expanding in different ways. And even though at the end of the episode, they just did a quick little blink and all of a sudden they had a ring, it was small, but like the creation of something out of nothing is a big deal for like her powers and where they're going to go in the future. I mean, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but in the matter of like Pyro, his whole ability is that he can manipulate fire. He can't create it like a firebender or anything. So he just moves around what already exists. If there's no fire, he has no power. But if he was able to manufacture it, then he could do so much more. Whereas her power is based in like reality and stuff like that. So like if she can, that
was my alarm.
I get it. I got you. I muted mine because I knew a bunch were going to go off. If she can, like, she's not just manipulating what exists, she can actually create, then that puts her on another level, and then she gets to do God knows what.
Towards the end of episode 1, when Vision's boss kind of starts choking at the table, his wife, Mrs. Hart, is just, you know, continuously saying, "Stop it. Stop it," over and over, but like
she's not, kind of,
no one's doing anything. She's like laughing, and I'm like, okay, like, do you give a fuck, or like, is this is another one of those things where I started to get that vibe where I was like, okay, is this like a simulation, or is this, you know, is this in their mind, like what kind of world or what's going on here? Like it seems like they may be trapped, because it's almost like she kind of glitched out and just started saying stop it. Like I feel like somebody normal that sees their husband choking would react a little bit more
right.
yeah, a little bit differently.
And I love that. I love the casting there because, like you said, you like the boss. He was like the perfect, uh, he's the perfect sort of boss. Whereas the wife was perfect for me too, because Kitty Foreman was like the epitome of all things back in the day mom. So when I saw that they had cast her, I was like, yes, like her. And one of the casting choices for episode 2, I freaking loved. She was perfect, and I she stayed right in that moment. And one of the things about that moment that like really threw me, outside of the fact that he was choking and like she wasn't reacting or whatever, they like the laugh track left, the screen kind of like dimmed and darkened and everything. Like they really set them. It looked like it was about to take like a really like Jordan Peele sort of turn on this.
Oh yeah,
but
dark.
Yeah. But thankfully it didn't, and they fixed it. And as usual, all problems are solved in that quick little 30 minutes. Although it was more like 24 minutes because there was like 4 or 5 minutes of credits. I was a little upset about that, but it is what it is. There were a lot of people involved.
No, that's facts. Because I think I was looking at the episode. I had to like click away for a quick second, and then I looked at it. It was like 7 minutes left, and then like 30 seconds later, the episode ended, and I was like, 7 minutes left. Of
exactly what? Right. Like because I think. I'm actually like it's playing next to me while we're talking. I'm looking at 22:17 with 7 minutes and 19 seconds left, and they're showing the sword agent like writing in their journal and them closing the book on her on the TV screen that's broadcasting this life of hers. And I'm certain somebody can like zoom in on all these screens and everything that are up there on at the time. But the main thing is that this looked like it was about to be the shift where we're like, okay, what's the real world scene? What are we experiencing? And no, we just got 7 minutes of credits. And I thought for a second, I was like, well, it's Marvel. Let me pour through these junks. Like it's gotta be something in here. Nah. Although the ending, like the actual ending, like I don't even know what you would call it. Like not the credits, but like the ending, whatever for WandaVision is really cool. And I appreciate that. I'm certain there was a bunch in episode 1 and some stuff, like I said, that we didn't catch. If you guys feel like we missed something, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know what we missed so we can talk about that.
Please let us know down in the comments. We want to know your thoughts on the WandaVision. All right, so WandaVision episode 1. Pretty cool so far. I think a nice little intro to this miniseries that Disney and Marvel's got going on. So very excited to see the rest of the show. So if you enjoyed this little quick review of WandaVision episode 1, go ahead and give this video a like, hit the bell so that you're notified every time that we post a video. Make sure you hit all notifications too, so you're notified every time. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we've got a lot more videos coming. I'm Levita Josue.
And I'm Antonio Ache. And this is Comrom, where we do nerdy reviews with the occasional boost.